morning, everyone. I've been promoted. Yesterday I spoke from there. Today I've come over here. So thank you very much.
Welcome, sir.
Maybe this is a physical promotion. Spiritually, I need to be promoted much more. But that will happen only when I deserve that kind of promotion. Unfortunately, we are very confused about these words: spiritualism, religiosity, secularism, and all these things, And generally, the criticism that we make is very uneducated because we really don't know what it means. I have a big issue with this topic of today's session: spiritualization of politics. How will the spiritualization of politics happen if, as a society, we do not become spiritually empowered? Today we are a democracy, and the world over, largely we are all democracies. And that means that politics is a reflection of the society it represents. It is not a divine force, it is not an ordained force, it is not a hereditary force where only a select few come into that. Politics is where society comes. If politics has become the abode of the scoundrel, then it is the scoundrels in society who are to be blamed for it. Spiritualization should make us understand this, because unless society and the individual becomes spiritually empowered, there will be no spiritualization of politics. Let's not separate these things. We've made too many separations because we want to be conveniently insulated against every blame that could be towards us. We have become a society of finger pointers, and I'm not only talking about India, I'm talking about the whole world. We blame everybody else for everything that goes wrong, and we abdicate our responsibility to fight against that wrong. If you know that something is wrong, then it becomes your responsibility to fight against that wrong, to correct it, and not be walking with compromise with it and say, okay, what can I do? I'm just one small person. Spiritualization is the awakening of the soul and the understanding that the power of the soul is much greater than the power of the individual. And then true spiritualization will happen in all aspects of life. Otherwise, we just make, nice sounding speeches. I'm very happy to hear the young people speak. At least in the future, we'll have nice speech makers. But only making good speeches is not going to make us good leaders. Because unless there is a soul in those words, nothing will be of meaning. And spiritualization gives us the power. Becoming spiritually enlightened gives us the power to read the meanings behind those words. Otherwise, we get trapped in the definitions of words and their meanings. And we do not explore the true meaning behind those powers. Unfortunately, as a society, we have become worshippers of materialism. And that's why we don't have any time for spiritual pursuits. We are more concerned about the latest model of the iPhone than we are about how to enhance our own self. Somebody says that spiritualization is about renunciation. Yes, that is the truth. Because as we become spiritually enlightened, we realize that there is no meaning about possessions. We leave everything behind over here. We leave everything behind even when we are alive. Religiosity and spiritualism are two different things. Religious practices are rituals, whereas spiritualization is the education that empowers us. What I eat may matter to religion. It does not matter to spirituality. Because when I become spiritually enlightened, I realize that what I eat is sufficient if I eat to live and not live to eat. We talk about corruption and blame politicians and say they are corrupt because they are not spiritual. But how many of you think that you are going down the same path When a traffic policeman catches you and instead of accepting the fine, you try to buy that a traffic policeman so that you can escape the fine. And that is when corruption starts. Right from there, responsibility is yours. Because then as economic progression goes, if a traffic policeman has a certain price tag, then the Prime Minister will have a higher price tag in a natural progression. This is what we must understand, and this is what we will be taught and we will learn if we become spiritually awakened. Spiritualization also does not have a race for betterment. Religions have a race amongst themselves to know which is the better religion, which is the more enlightened religion. Spiritualization takes that race away from all of us. My great-grandfather Bapu said that it is the spiritual duty of every human being to make a friendly study of all scriptures and then understand and respect those religions. There is a big difference between a critical study of scriptures and a friendly study of scriptures. I would plead with you, make a friendly study of scriptures, then you will understand the spiritualism in religion. Till then it will just be rituals and we will all be wasting our life just conducting those rituals and fooling ourselves that we are very enlightened and we are very conscious and we are very honest. Please think of all these things before you get carried away by fancy, polished and very emotionally charged words and sentences. Thank you very much.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया तुषार गांधी जी। आप